Thanks for checking in on the State of Basketball Podcast, episode 57. I'm Adam Miller, and I'm here with Jaren Will each and every week, and we are going to be bringing you the news and notes on all 11 Division I schools in the state of Indiana, because in 49 states,
it's just basketball. Adam, you just lied.
What?
You said we're bringing the news and notes of all 11 Division I schools in the state of Indiana. We are only bringing news and notes for one this week.
Well, here's the thing, is this is the 11th school we're bringing news and notes on in the past 6 weeks. So, and that's 11. No,
yeah.
I guess the each and every week is the lie.
Yeah.
You know,
I just picked up on that. We've been lying to our viewers for the last 6 weeks. Kinda.
I would never lie to our viewers. This is our final team preview. We've talked about Ball State, Butler, Evansville. We talked about Indiana State, University of Indianapolis. We talked about Notre Dame. We talked about Purdue and Fort Wayne as well. And we talked about Southern Indiana. Valpo brings it home.
They do.
We're lighting the beacon, so to speak, that the season is here. And, you know, if you're listening to this, it's probably Thursday. Season starts on Monday. You can listen to us this Sunday talk about, you know, what's going to happen on the 4th. You can listen to us right on the 3rd.
Yeah,
you can listen to us.
You can also listen to us on the 4th if you're an audio listener,
or want to watch the day after. But we will be live on the 3rd to preview the season, the first week, I guess, for all these teams and college basketball as a whole. And
back to our regularly scheduled weekly programming.
We're pumped about that, but we are also pretty pumped about the Beacons, right? This is our final preview. We've talked about all these other teams. This is our 3rd Missouri Valley team, obviously, because there's 3 Indiana teams in the Missouri Valley Conference. They're still in the Missouri Valley. They are still coached by Roger Powell Jr. This is his 2nd year in the Missouri Valley. And I guess his 2nd year at Valpo. And, we're excited to see what year 2 brings, because Coach Powell did not take the kind of win now, like with 1 year old transfers mentality that a lot of people have been doing, right? He was like, I want to build something at Valpo. Guy that's been, on the sideline with a future Hall of Famer, right?
Yep.
And I like that mentality. He didn't lose any of his most important pieces to the portal, and I think that tells you all that you need to know about what he's trying to do here. Is that people that are there are bought in, and they believe in him, and we believe in him too. So last year, his first year didn't go too well, I guess you could say. They finished 294th in Torvik and had a 7-5 record, 3-17 in the conference. So that was finished 12th out of 12 teams in the Valley. Maybe the record, I don't know what their original projection was, but finishing 12th in the Valley was probably what they were supposed to do. I would imagine that's where they were voted.
I think so. I think that was either 11th or 12th last season. That was over a year ago, so I don't quite remember. But definitely not the outcome that you want, but almost kind of an outcome that you might have expected. Especially, again, Roger's first season with the program. He didn't take the win now approach. He wanted to build a program, have his guys in the system, and work towards being a consistently strong team. And so you can expect that in the first season, right? A little bit of a dip, but they go into the season, right? They're already preseason ranked 254, so 40 spots on the nose, higher ranked. Their projections still aren't, where we want to see them, but The metrics have them going 13-18 overall, with 7-13 in the conference. That would put them at 11 out of the 12 teams in the Valley. So improvement either way, according to the projections. But we, we'll talk about a little later what we think, based on the eye test, what Adam and I believe this team will accomplish.
Mm-hmm. And for so like Corvick has them as 11th. You said
Yes,
they were voted 10th. I guess by the media at Missouri Valley Media Day. So that was 10th. They were like 20 points behind Evansville, and then like 30 points behind Indiana State. So Indiana State was projected 8th. Evansville was projected 9th. Valpo is projected 10th, ahead of Missouri State and Illinois Chicago.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess 10th or 11th is where they're projected. But just a projection.
Yeah. Let's look at the team composition, right? So, we always talk about key returners and the key newcomers.
Mm-hmm.
Key returners, like we said, didn't lose any major pieces. They were brought back 3 of their best players last season, and Darius Diavero, who was a 6'1" senior point guard. He averaged 7.9 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and just over 5 assists per game. So I remember last season we always talked about him. I feel like every game he broke some kind of assist record or came close to breaking an assist record. So he can really dish it out. They've got Isaiah Stafford, who was their best player by far last season. The 6'2" senior guard. He was 7th in the Valley in scoring at 16.9 points per game. He was 3rd in steals at 1.62 steals per game. He was also 12th in 3-point field goals made with 57. So impressive stuff there, right? We think about the Valley last season. They had all of Indiana State's starting lineup, who averaged probably like 15 points a game at least. Several of them averaged more. So when you're being named with guys like that, definitely are a stud. You're gonna go out there and ball. And then another guy that we were very pleased with last season, we loved watching him play, Cooper Schweiger, 6'10" sophomore forward. He was Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year. He was the 4th Valpo freshman to ever achieve that, to ever be Freshman of the Year. It was the first in 25 years. So it's been 25 years since a Valpo freshman made Conference Freshman Player of the Year. Fun fact, the last 2 to do it are in the Valpo Hall of Fame. So you've got some...
You projecting something here?
Fun little food for thought with Cooper's future. He did average 30 minutes per game as a freshman. He had 5 rebounds per game and 13.2 points per game. So, dude was a stud.
To be fair, though, I don't even think that's just like a coincidence. I think that's something that Powell himself said about Coop before last season, even, that like if he's a guy who stays 4 years, like his jersey will be in the rafters. I don't know if they actually put jerseys in the rafters at Valpo. We haven't had the privilege to be there yet, but like he will absolutely be in the Hall of Fame if he stays 4 years at Valparaiso, because he's just that good, that important to the program. And, all 3 of those guys, like DeVero learned how to be a lead guard and is absolutely killing it. Isaiah Stafford, kind of a question mark, right?
Yep.
We haven't heard definitively. I think it's a knee injury.
I think so.
Injury to, don't know if he's going to be ready to go. We've seen not definitively that he's out, but we haven't seen definitively that he's good to go. So if he's injured, that's obviously going to be a little bit, we're operating under he's going to be healthy.
We're operating that he is going to be ready to go.
And then Coop, I mean, first team, first team, right?
I got at least at least second team. At least second team.
Second team at worst, right? Like he should at worst be on the second team.
At least at worst, it's kind of the same thing.
But like,
yeah,
he could absolutely make the first team. I don't know what other bigs they're bringing in, but he's going to be amongst the best of them for sure.
Yep. So let's talk about newcomers. Talk about the three guys that are going to be pivotal.
Pivotal. You can really turn them around here. They're pivotal guys.
So newcomers. Who are the Beacons bringing in?
Well, the first guy is going to look really familiar because the first guy that they're bringing in is Carson Schwieger, and he's coming from Wright State, 6'8", so shorter than his twin brother. But yeah, he is the twin brother of Cooper Schwieger. So
yep,
you've got twin brothers playing for Valpo. So he redshirted last year at Wright State, and he actually outscored Cooper in high school. So expect a little friendly competition there, but there might always be a Schwieger on the floor there, right? If not two.
If not two, there will at minimum be a Schwieger on the court at all times. You'd expect. So that's fun. Will also be confusing.
Yeah,
because usually, like, if you have brothers on a team, usually put their first initial.
Yeah. Put the first two.
Yeah, they're gonna have to put. Well, will it fit? Will CA.C or CO. Schwieger fit on the back of a jersey? Pretty long last name.
Are there official rules on what you can put on a jersey, like on the back of a jersey?
I'm sure.
Like, is it like last name only? And then it's like if this, then this, like if last name only. If someone has the same last name, like first
does Valpo
initial.
Put names on the back of their jerseys?
I think so. You're gonna have to fact check that real quick.
Yeah. You keep telling us who they're bringing in, and
But here's the thing.
I'll fact check.
If they do or if they don't, it'll be more confusing. Obviously. But the next guy that they're bringing in is Tyler Schmidt, and hometown hero here. He's transferring, I believe, from Olivet Nazarene and NAIA school. He's a 6'4" fifth-year guard at Olivet. He averaged, I guess I shouldn't say Olivet because Olivet is a Division III school. At ONU, he averaged almost 24 points per game, 5.5 boards, and 5.5 assists, basically. He's a dog. So he's from Valpo, so he's coming back home. He is a 2-time All-American at the NAIA level. He was unanimous player of the year in the conference. He was an honorable mention in 2021, 2022. So like we talked about like NAIA guys at the highest level with Grace coach Scott Moore, and the NAIA player of the year from Grace is now going to be starting at Colorado State. You bring a guy who's on the second team, so one of the 10 best players in all of NAIA, to Valparaiso, averaged almost 24 points per game. That's a win. That is something that's going to translate immediately. I don't know what kind of offers he got out of, going into his last year, but I imagine he only had one place he wanted to go, and that's his hometown school, Valparaiso.
I'd like to think that for sure.
So I'm sure, it was enticing, but like you get one more like victory lap. You gotta do it for your hometown, put them on, right?
100%.
So that's what I love about Schmidt coming in.
Yeah, I did confirm too. They do have names on the back of their jerseys. Okay,
so we'll have to ask.
We'll circle back after week 1 to see if it's how the Schwiegers are situated from a jersey name perspective.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll do like they should have done. Like they should have been numbers 1 and 2, and like Schwieger 1 and Schwieger 2.
But who? How do you decide who gets 1 and who gets 2?
1v1.
I mean, one would have to be
1-on-1.
One would have to be Coop because he was the first one there.
Yeah. But then you could also say that Carson could be 1 because he's in his first year. And then Coop could be 2 because he's in his second year. Makes you think.
Ooh.
Makes you think.
Makes you think.
Who else do they have coming in, Jaren?
Probably. So we talk about the Indiana schools, right? The 11 Division I schools. So we could say that those are our 11 favorite teams. If we were to throw in a 12th favorite team, I'd say it's probably
at the
Maryland.
Division I level.
At the Division I level. Yep. I thought I had set that baseline, but yes. We're throwing our 12th favorite team at the Division I level. Maryland Eastern Shore would probably be it. Don't ask why.
It's just
there's just something about that program that we love.
They just keep coming up.
They are our 12th team that we cover. Valpo got a transfer from them. Devin Ellis is a 6'7" junior forward. Averaged 11.6 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game. So, dude's a baller. We're excited that we can continue to talk about Maryland Eastern Shore for sure. Then, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna. One, their Maryland Eastern Shore is projected 358th in Torvik. Not great, but I was just looking at their schedule. They come to Miami of Ohio. When they play an Indiana team, we are absolutely going.
That's just a lock.
Yeah. We'll be that. We'll make a shirt that's half Maryland Eastern Shore, half whoever they're playing. But
people will be so confused.
They come to Murray State in Illinois, so I mean they come close. They do come close, but not coming to Indiana this year. It looks like. So sorry to all our Maryland Eastern Shore fans out there. If you're here for the Maryland Eastern Shore content, we got you a little bit, but sorry.
And they also have 5 freshmen coming in. One that I want to point out, freshman All Right. Easily an all-name team guy. Not to be confused with his brother at Rhode Island, Always Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun to watch. I just love their family naming conventions. It's fun. Key games though. I guess let me rewind. The other 4 freshmen: Nick Lombardi, Jaden Watson, Ramsey Salem, Justice McNair. I believe McNair is a Valpo guy as well.
I think
so. Definitely the Valpo connection, right? Guys are wanting to stay in Valpo and play for their school. So going from Valpo High School to Valpo University is
he's from the same high school as Roger Powell. He's from Joliet, Illinois.
That's right. McNair's the connection there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's. I could be thinking of a 2025 recruit.
There's a really good recruit that I can't think of coming out of Valpo, and yes, there's just a lot of connections, and like what I like to see is like Schmidt coming in, wanting a very, very like probably the most proven, most productive transfer we've talked about in all 11 previews. He has the highest points per game. He is just an absolute dog, and someone that's absolutely going to transfer pretty much immediately. And he's going to step in and just try and be newcomer of the year in the Missouri Valley, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
But him coming in, wanting to come home, and I don't know if he wasn't like recruited by Valpo out of high school or what. I don't know anything about his situation, but him wanting to come home speaks a lot about Roger Powell, and then Justice McNair, who went to the same high school as Powell, wanting to come play for him. Like that just tells you a lot about Powell and what you need to know about kind of the guy that he is. He's recruiting people who want he cares about these people, and he's recruiting people who want to be at Valpo or, with him and the coaching staff specifically. So that's what I really like about, the kind of the group that they're bringing in.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's just exciting to see the way Hal is recruiting and the way he's kind of putting emphasis on wanting guys who want to be there. Let's
talk about the key games.
Key games, yes.
So this is what, third team from Indiana that plays at DePaul?
Well,
Southern Indiana goes to DePaul.
Yep. And then Onicon, be specific, because
yeah.
there will be a fourth team that plays at DePaul too. Butler.
Oh yeah.
But then they're in the conference, so
right.
yeah.
Yes. So they will go to DePaul. So a lot of I guess, DePaul is right there across the border, so it's like a close non-conference Division I team, power school, right? So they go to DePaul, who's ranked, if you've listened to other previews, they're ranked 120th. That's on November 29th. On December 17th, they go to Ohio State. They're 34th right now. And then in conference, they've got almost a round robin. There's 12 teams in the Valley. So they play Northern Iowa and Illinois State. They only play them once, but they're home and away with Evansville on January 25th and February 16th. So they're home the January 25th, and then they're at Evansville February 16th. They're home against Indiana State on January 8th, and then they are at Indiana State on February 5th. And then Bradley and Drake are teams that, people think might compete again for the Valley. They're at Drake on January 22nd, and then they're home in the December slate, actually, with Drake on December 4th, and then Bradley, they go out to Bradley on December 29th, and then they're home with to Bradley on February 26th. So, tough. Like, the Valley's tough always, and the Valley in the middle, I think, is kind of a crapshoot. And so you are going to be having a lot of teams that will probably be one or two games apart from each other when it all settles down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be, it's going to be tough every single night.
That's just how the Valley is, though. So,
yeah, especially with Indiana State and Drake both losing their head coaches. I mean, Drake brings in very accomplished Division II coach who's won multiple national championships at Division II. So, I expect them to be good again. But, when they both left, like, the Valley opened up.
Yeah. So let's look at, our goals for them, right? If we were to go back and come next April 2025, and look at the season and think about, okay, who or what do the Beacons need to achieve for us to say that they had a successful season? Top of the list, 500 in the conference, I think is big, especially coming back after last season where they were 3-17. So quite a big turnaround that we expect from them. We also think that, making the Missouri Valley Conference tournament second round. So
yeah,
second round in Arch Madness would be kind of a successful season for the Beacons.
So playing in the first day, I'm just trying to think of how the bracket breaks out. Playing on the first day, winning a game. So we want them to win a game, right?
Yeah. Winning their first game in Arch Madness.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Make it to the quarters, I think. That would be the quarters.
Believe the way it breaks down, yes.
Okay.
There's 4 games. So, definitely think that's achievable because based on our record prediction, what are they gonna do, Adam? Who are they gonna beat? Who are they gonna lose to?
Well, admittedly, they're two bye games, I guess you call them, right? They're 2 bye games, DePaul at Ohio State. Those are going to be really tough. So maybe they shock DePaul, but Ohio State's going to be tough. I have absolutely no confirmation because Ohio State is also playing, I think, Indiana State, but Ohio State, former Valpo player, Diebler,
Yeah.
Valpo guy.
Yeah.
So nice to see, if you want to call it giving back, but by scheduling them. So maybe he can give back a little bit and drop a game to Valpo. But, pencil those in, I guess, as, just tentative losses and, maybe shock them and win. So that's loss at DePaul, maybe loss at DePaul, a loss at Ohio State, maybe. And then their next toughest game is probably like the Liberty game to open the season.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect Liberty to be pretty all right. So probably, let's just say they lose that game, and I think they win the rest. I don't see another game on this schedule that I don't think that they can win.
And they play 11 non-con games. So
Yes.
3 losses. Check my math, but that would put them at 8-3 in the non-conference. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get some nice nice transitive stuff here because their third game is against Cleveland State, so we'll get to compare them to Purdue Fort Wayne once Purdue Fort Wayne plays against Cleveland State in conference. So it'll be fun for that. And then, what do you think they're going to do in the Missouri Valley, man? I mean, the Missouri Valley is such a toss up. A lot of projections think that Valpo is not going to be that great in the Missouri Valley. Thinks that they're going to finish bottom 3.
Yeah. Well, we think 10-10, 500 in the conference, like our goal said. We could realistically see 11-9. So we're rolling with 11-9 in the Valley. So 11-9 plus 8-3. That is 19-12. You want to fact check my math, Adam?
I mean, that looks right to me.
Yeah. So what would that? 19-12 with 11, and what would 11-9 put them in the conference?
Well, in the projection, 11-9 is 4th.
Okay.
In the conference.
Okay.
Corvitt currently has Murray State going 16-13. Overall 11-9. 10-10 would put them, 6th, 5th, between 5th and 6th. So yeah. I think, if you can crack into that top 5, top 6, I think that is super successful.
Yeah, and that's exactly where you want to be, especially.
Then you get a bye in the I think you get a bye in the Missouri in Arch Madness. Your top 5. Top 4 at least do. Maybe not. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on Arch Madness right here. I should have looked up the bracket before I even said that. I apologize.
Yeah, way to go. Well, our unpaid intern should have noted that for us.
They should have had the bracket right there.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of positive around this Valpo program, right? Roger Powell has been the dude last year, going to be the dude this year. Like, he is, the future is bright for this program. Like a beacon of hope for the entirety of Northwest Indiana. He's really building this program up, and they're going to do a lot of great things for sure. And we think that this season is going to be a progress towards that. So,
and I did just get a note in from our unpaid intern that the top 4 teams get a bye. The opening round is 5 through 12 play. So,
okay.
If they are the 5th ranked team, they will play the 12th ranked team in Arch Madness, and they were the 12th ranked team last year. So they could
how the turntables.
Exactly.
How the turntables. Well, like we said, this is our last preseason preview.
Team preview.
We will be back live on the 3rd to really kick off the season.
Yeah, 3 days. 3 days from now.
Yeah, it is.
Man, so close. It's so close.
You can almost touch it. So we're excited. We'll Be back live every Sunday night at or around 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Generally.
our audio listeners out there, we'll always see you Monday mornings at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Monday mornings, 8 a.m. Monday mornings.
Oh yes.
It's been a while since we've been doing our live on Sunday, publish on Monday.
Intern wrote Monday morning 8 p.m. on the run sheet. So I mean,
yeah, no, that's just me being an idiot. So I'm not gonna throw the intern under the bus this time. So we're excited. But with that, the clock is showing quadruple zeros, so it's time for us to get out of here. Thanks for checking in on the State of Basketball podcast. We will see you Sunday/Monday. And remember, in 49 states,
it's just basketball.